Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. And anyway, I hope you're really taking good care of yourself. I hope that you were able to get out in nature somewhere like Starlight is right now. I'm at this beautiful pond out here in the state of Florida. And it is wonderful at this park because there's lots of different kind of birds and they're so friendly. But anyway, I really hope you're taking good care of yourself. I hope you're loving yourself and, forgive yourself, because it is so important is to forgive yourself of things that you do that you're not even aware of sometimes. Sometimes we do things and we're not even aware of what we did. And it's so important to forgive ourselves of our shortcomings and not being perfect, because the last time I checked, I have not met a perfect person. Sometimes we can be deceived thinking that there are people that, are perfect, but there really isn't anyone that I have ever met that is perfect. So don't be hard on yourself and don't let others to be hard on you. So anyway, I do love all of you so much, and you can give this video a thumbs up. But before you do that is you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you can give this video a thumbs up again if you want. And also, don't forget to leave a message down below, beep, beep, beep. And you can also share my videos with anyone you want. Plus, you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. Sorry. So anyway, here I am. And I was going to do a different video, but it is something how, whoops, sorry about this. I got to get this light right here. I did have somebody that asked me a question last night, and I thought, that's a great topic. I was going to talk about something else, but I figured, hey, let me touch on this topic instead. I can do the other video another time, the other topic. But anyway, have you, done something, maybe you've offended someone, whoops, sorry. I got my hair is flopping. Maybe you've done something to someone and, you feel bad. And what do you think is the right thing to do? What was that? Say you're sorry. Yes. Say you're sorry. Like if you do something is wrong, or you offended someone, is to say, hey, I am sorry. I am so sorry. But, are they going to forgive you? I don't know. Are they going to forgive you, or are they going to get mad at you because of what you did and how you affected them? And like I said, I did have somebody ask that question last night, and it brought me back a long time ago when I was learning about forgiveness when I went to church. And I'm sorry, my hair is... and long time ago when I was going to church and I was learning about the how to be a Christian and what to do and what not to do. And of course, I'm not here encouraging you to go to church, not at all, believe me. But there's some of you might go to church right now, and that is absolutely fine. That's, that is where you are. So anyway, have you ever done anything wrong to anybody? Yeah, of course, we all have. So what did you do? Did you just say, hey, that I did you wrong, and you just went on your merry way and just never corrected the problem or anything like that, never said it sorry to them? And, whether you know this or not, but that would be, where God would really want to see you to ask that person to forgive you. And sometimes, actually I have to say all the time, it is not easy to go to someone especially face to face. That is really tough. Have you ever done that where you did something wrong? Maybe you stole something from them, maybe you lied to them, maybe you said something behind their back, and you got caught, but isn't it really hard to admit, number one, that you did something wrong? Ouch, that really hurts. And then to put our pride down. That's what it is. That's what happens a lot of times, where people are too prideful to say that I am sorry. And is Starlight perfect? Absolutely not. I have put that in many of my videos, and these days I really don't care. I just did yoga out here in a new area, and I was like, well, people are not gonna be used to Starlight out here. And this morning at this park, I was here and Starlight was dancing to Bob Marley out here, and I had a couple fans out here. I just was celebrating things that are going on in my life. But in life, we are gonna hurt people. Sometimes you could hurt somebody or offend somebody out in public and not even know it. Like I've met some people are so offended, they get offended for everything. So you really got to watch out for those types, because those are the types of people that you're never gonna please. They're always gonna have something to what do they say, bitch and complain about. There's nothing that you could do to help them out. And I have known people like that in my lifetime, relatives actually, where they would go out to restaurants or motels or buy stuff in stores, and they were really something. Is they realized if we complain about everything everywhere we go, we're going to get discounts, we're going to get free stuff. And that's exactly what they did. They went around complaining about all kinds of stuff everywhere, and it got so bad that what they ended up doing other times when I was younger is, if they didn't complain about stuff, at the restaurant, about the food, like say, something's wrong with the food, or of course, if there's hair in your food, and it's not yours, that is something, that we should complain about. But this particular family would actually send their kids to complain to the manager and, say, hey, my parents, found this in their food, or it wasn't cooked all the way, or whatever complaint they could find about it. And so those people, don't worry about those ones, because they're miserable and they want to make everybody else miserable by complaining everywhere they go. And so they're always gonna point fingers, no matter where they are, what they do, and no matter how great the service is. So those are the kind of people that, if you did something wrong to them, just tell the universe that you're sorry. Those are the ones I would say, maybe it's not the greatest ideal to tell them, because they're always going to complain. So in life, though, is, it is easy to offend people, and especially Starlight is not a fan of this, is through emails or like through texting. That is the worst, where a lot of problems can happen through texting or emailing somebody. And you're gonna have problems. You are gonna have problems because with emails and texting. And there's a lot people might say in their texting, and the other person might interpret what they said wrong, and they might not even text back, or they might not even email you back. It might be you are the only one reaching out to them. And so you do have to be careful, especially with texting or emails. I do not like to text. Absolutely not. The only, like when I had my cleaning business, I would, like if I was running late, that would be the time for my cleaning business when I had it, is when I would leave like a text message, because it was quick. and I didn't have to bother the people. So when they checked their phone, they would say, oh, okay, Starlight's going to be running late. But that really didn't happen very much. So, with that, I did have a story a long time ago about like where a pearl earring was missing at a client's house, and she texted me about it. That was the worst thing she could have done. Really, the smartest thing would have been is right away, once she realized that she didn't find it or she didn't know where it went, is to contact me right away. But she didn't. I didn't find out until like a week ago, after I already cleaned at her house. Then I received a text message on my phone saying, hey, and I was new cleaning at her house. And that is like the worst thing really as a cleaner, is when you think you're getting accused of stealing when you gave that up a long time ago, So, and when she did text me, at first I didn't know how to read the texting really, because I was like, is she accusing me of stealing one, earring? It wasn't like a pair, it wasn't like both were missing, it just was one. So I really didn't know how to take the message at all, and my heart rate was going because I just got her, and I really needed her as a client, because I was rebuilding my business after COVID. So she was one of my new clients, and I only cleaned for her like maybe 2 months. So, I didn't text her back when I did receive that message. I couldn't reach out to her right away because I had another job to go to that day. But when I did get done with that other job, I didn't text her, and, because that would have made the whole problem worse. So, there's times that people do, they get offended, or, miscommunications, or maybe somebody said something the wrong way, and that happens to Starlight. Not every one of I never even graduated. Starlight was in a special class. So even when you hear my videos, you can tell with my English that it's not, perfect, because I didn't graduate, but I do the best that I can with my videos as far as speech goes, and as far as writing to people. Sometimes I don't put things in order when I write, and it's, I already texted it, I wrote that whole thing out, and it's like, I'm just going to keep on, so Starlight, to write a book, I wouldn't even really know the proper way to write a book. But here I am as a YouTuber trying to inspire people to be the change that they want to see in the world. So you do have to watch out, because how you say things through texting or in emails, especially if the person doesn't ever write you back, where they can't say, hey, what did you mean by what you said? So it is so important, if you don't understand what somebody said, sometimes people think that, hey, I understand you and I know what you meant, where they might got you wrong, where it could cause a problem, with that relationship with that person. And, so you might get where they're being stuck up or ignoring you, and you're scratching your head like, I know I said a lot, but what is it that I did this time? What is it this time? There's so many other times, but what did I do this time? So are they even communicating and letting you know what they did? So that is very important. If you get offended by somebody, by what they said or texted, don't text back and say, what did you mean? Really, call them up and say, I got your text message or I got your email and you said something, but it's not clear. It's like a gray area. So those are the areas that you got to watch out for, is the gray areas where you're not 100%, but it is something with your emotions. How this happens is that before you know it, your emotions are getting carried away and your heart rate is going crazy, because now you're offended by a message because you think you know what they said or what they, what they meant, when they could be wrong. So it is so important, really, if you can, not everybody can actually call on a phone or even see that person in person, is to really communicate in person is the best way if you can't. And I've made a video, sorry about that, is a while back on this topic, but this is a little different here on this topic, is sorry, I ate like a while back here. And so the best thing is, if you don't understand what somebody said or what their sentence was, or maybe they weren't clear, maybe they had a lot on their mind, maybe they are going through a lot, maybe they worded something wrong, but don't get all upset, with them and give them the silent treatment, because what if they are innocent and they don't even know what they did to offend that person? So the best thing is to call them up if you can't see them in person. And sometimes people can't even call the person up and say, hey, I mean, they can, but they don't, so, it's just that you don't want to, and Starlight has been guilty of this myself, is where, I have taken people wrong. Sometimes, I had a lot going on, and, where, I heard what they said, but I had a lot of stuff going on in my headspace, a lot in my life where, we could be wrong and mistake people on what they tell us and get all upset. And it happens very quick. Your heart, it is amazing how your body works and your mind and your heart space when that thing that they said or how it affected you, and you thought you knew what they were saying, or maybe they were talking to someone else and you thought they were talking to you. And so number one, you gotta first make sure, are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? And if they are talking to you and it's a definite, then you got to figure out, okay, what did they mean by that? And it is really tough. I am still learning to go through these things in my life. So if somebody offended you, should you, this was the question last night that I received, is if I, Starlight, did something to you, should I tell you that I'm sorry? Maybe I feel like I can't. That was pretty much what the question was, is that I did something wrong and I am sorry for what I did, but do I actually have to go to that person and say I am sorry? Or can I go to God, the universe, and say, God, I am sorry for what I did to that person? So that was the question that I received last night. And Starlight's answer is, really a lot of it is that you got to really put your pride down on, especially if you can communicate with that person one way or another, either writing to them, but on those kind of things, if you can do it in person, it is best to do it in person, because then they can see your facial expressions and really know how much you are sorry, how it affected you by hurting them. So I could write to you and not have maybe there's people do this, is that they know they messed up and they did something wrong and they feel that in their heart that they have to say sorry, but there's something inside of them that's not all the way sorry. They only want to say sorry because they want something from you. And so they might write to you or text you or email and say they're sorry, but they're hoping sometimes that you're going to fall for it when they really 100% wasn't sorry for it. So that you do have to be careful about, is, are they being real when they say sorry? Because there's this happens with God, the universe, is that a lot of people say, hey, I'm sorry I did that, and God knows the heart, if a person is sorry or not, so if you cannot go to that person. And a lot of it is because of pride. Pride gets in a way where you're like, I'm embarrassed, I'm afraid, or fear, I'm afraid what they're going to say or how they're going to respond. And really, we got to let that fear go and really, tell them that you're sorry, but of course, if you don't even know that you don't even know what you did wrong, and you say you're sorry and they can't forgive you, what do you do then? You went to them either, texting or an email, and you said, hey, I am sorry. I know you're mad at me, but I don't even know what I did, and why you're angry with me is you're ignoring me, you're not responding to me, and it's not that you're busy, it's not that you are occupied doing something else and you didn't have the time to reach out to me, but if you already got right with them, God knows your heart, that if you got right with them or not. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Don't keep on going back to the same person, and because if you met it with your heart and you said, hey, I don't know what I did, but you are upset and I am sorry. I am apologizing to you right here in your face, and I am sorry. Please forgive me. And if they still ignore you and they give you the silent treatment, it's no longer your problem. It's like I'm not really good with the Hollywood stars, but that I gotta think of her name, but there's this Hollywood star, and I gotta think of the song. I hope I can come up with the song, or the name of the song is more or less that you gotta just, here, I gotta do it this way, whatever, because you did your part. It's no longer your problem anymore, is if you meant it with your heart and you said, I am sorry, even if you don't know what you did, is push it, I don't know, Taylor Swift sings this song, is the song, so everybody's probably knows, I hear you guys are probably yelling this song out to me, but I love that song, is, because it's not caring, if you did your part, is not to let it bother you. Don't let that person ruin your day. They got the problem now. You did what you could do and say sorry. It's all in their hands now. Don't have a bad heart attitude towards that person. Just realize that it's an area that they need to grow in and understand. And if they did already forgive you, and you're not even aware of it, then good. But if they, like tomorrow, if they still ignore you and you already wrote to them, you don't have to write to them 1,000 times to say I'm sorry over the same thing, So all you got to do is say, I am sorry what I did to you. I don't even know what I did to you, but I am sorry. And that's it. Don't let that person ruin your day or your week or your thought. Don't let that in your thought space. Let it go, because that is the best thing for you. And, it's just, God does test us at times to see how we're going to react and respond. So love that person no matter what. And if they're going to ignore you, whatever, there's nothing you can do. Don't get on your hands and knees like I do, please forgive me, because, you're belittling yourself, when, you feel like your sorry is not good enough, so I hope, this has helped that person out as far as, should you, tell that person you're sorry, and, if you can, yes, put your pride down and tell them that you're sorry. It really will help them and heal them. Not only, heal them, is that after you repent and told that person you're sorry, what the other step is? To forgive yourself. A lot of times, it's hard to say sorry to other people, and it's even harder to forgive ourselves when we don't even know what we did, or maybe we do know what we did. See, Starlight's English. We're still correcting all this stuff every day, you know. So love them, you know, and you know, let them come back to you. You don't have to beg your way back into them all the time, and you know, because that's a way of taking your power away. Don't let them take your power away. If you said you're sorry and they didn't forgive you, let God deal with them. You know, as long as you did the right thing, as, you know, putting your pride down and reaching out and saying, hey, I don't know what I did. I might have said something the wrong way. Maybe you took it the wrong way, but I am sorry. And the next day, if they don't respond, you know, I don't know what to say. You're just going to have to let it go, you know, love them and let it go. Don't let it beat yourself up, because some people love that. They love when you beat yourself up. And don't let other people enjoy seeing you tear yourself apart, you know, because there are people that could know you very well and know, hey, you know, I like this. I like seeing her tear herself apart. You know, I like when she feels bad, you know, like, and all that stuff. So don't let people do that to you. You know, love yourself and love that person. And of course, like I said at the end, is I got to forgive myself. I forgive myself for what? I don't really know, but I did something. I said something. I'm going to forgive myself for offending that person. So that's all you can do. I really hope you get a lot of help for this video. And, you know, next time, you know, really, if you can, which is the wisest way, is in person, number one. Number two is a phone call. Hello, what did you mean by that? And, you know, it goes on and on, you know, email or texting. But really, I got a little bug. Bug off. So, push it. I don't know. I'm trying to still remember that Taylor Swift song. But anyway, I do love all of you. Is forgive those people, for they know not what they do, I guess, you know. And God will forgive you when you forgive others, because it is in the Bible. Like, if you don't forgive others, how is God going to forgive you? And that's how we should be. We ought to really get right with the people that we can get right with. Sometimes we have no way of contacting them. That's a different story. But you still can ask God to please forgive me for what I did to that person. And God will forgive you. You know, God knows if your heart was right or not. So I love you all. I got to show you the view, really. All the beautiful animals here. I got lots of birds, and it's sad because there's a dead bird over here. This is, I'll show you when I get, I'll see if I can zoom this in, but way across this pond is like a beautiful house behind the trees there. But this is lots of birds. They are very friendly. It's a pond where you're not supposed to feed the animals. And look at this. There they go. Alligators and snakes in the area. And here I'm sitting on the grass. But all the way over here is a lot of birds. So anyway, beep. I really hope I can help that person out as far as the question goes. Is yes, go to that person if you can, but, you know, don't let people beat you up over it. You know, forgive yourself, say, you know, and that's what Starlight has a hard time. I do. When I offend people, when I hurt people, I feel like I hurt worse than they do. So anyway, I do love all of you. This is Starlight. You can give this video a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget, you can leave a message down below, beep, 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 and you can follow me on Instagram. Don't forget also the notification bell, ding, ding, ding. I don't even have that with me. Then you could follow me on Instagram at Starlight at 1995. At 1995 Starlight, that is on Instagram or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So I do love you, and I am so sorry if I offended anyone here. So I do. I love you from the bottom of my heart, you know, my whole being. So please forgive Starlight for her shortcomings. You know, I am not perfect. and I have not arrived, you know. So I love all of you, and this is Starlight. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.